We are live. So I'd like to say thank you to everyone that is going to be showing up tonight. A little technical difficulties getting on, but we are here. Hopefully you can hear me. So I had a bit of a disappointment this morning when I went out to water my plants. I noticed that the top of the hill where I had a bunch of beans coming up, I had 2 succession plantings of beans. So I put about, hi Green Meadow Farm, welcome. I had put, I was just talking about the garden at the top of the hill. So I had planted about 12 beans that were about yay tall, and I put them in the ground. And then next to them, I planted about 9 more beans just straight into the soil. And then I put in next to them, hopefully that's not too loud, next to them, I put in some baby's breath that I had grown from seeds. And I put some baby's breath seed in as well to do like a succession planting. And so everything was coming up. It had filled in that little strip nicely. And then right behind it, I had put in some sunflowers. I go out this morning and I go to water, and almost all of the baby's breath are gone. Almost all of the sunflowers are nibbled, and the beans have been eaten. So they're like sticks with no leaves on them. And yesterday everything looked great. So I don't know if the beans are going to bounce back. I kind of think that they probably will, because some of my other stuff that's been nibbled down has bounced back. The baby's breath, I don't know. Like, I started it, and the problem is now I've got like this big bare spot at the top of the hill. So I'm trying to decide what I should, something, I don't know. I chased off a bunny 2 days in a row while watering. So I think it's this bunny, probably the cute little one that was stuck in my Sweet Williams last week. And it's been eating the beans. So I think I want to plant some more beans, and I need to plant some more sunflowers, but I don't think I want to plant them up at the top of the hill because I think it's too easy for animals or whatever to get at. So I'm trying to decide what else I should plant up there. I have so many of the Sweet Williams in that big clump. So my husband's suggestion was maybe take some out of that clump to put up at the top to give me some color. I don't know. It's just everything else is filled in so nicely. And then it's like I got this big bare spot at the top of the hill. So I don't know. That's where I'm trying to decide what plants I have. Oh, yeah. I have an old dog who does not scare anything. He does not scare anyone. So I was going to kind of look through my list of seeds. And I also know that I'm supposed to be like succession planting or starting my greens. Like, when do people start? I've never done a fall garden like with produce. Have you ever done fall produce garden? Like, when they're like, oh, start them for the fall. And so you plant them out and you want them growing for the fall. But it's like, when do you start them? I'm thinking probably end of July. Start the seedlings for like the next round of, say, lettuce and kohlrabi. Like the kohlrabi I did in the winter sowing container. So I don't really think that's going to work. I think some of these need like winter stratification. So I'm wondering if I'm going to have to do like the baggie method and stick them in the fridge. Because I know that might be what I have to do with some of my cool flowers that I'm going to try. I'm thinking maybe the Sweet Williams. I don't know. So what's the weather like where you are, Green Meadow? Hey, grow. What name do you go by? JTG. That's really hard to say. GT, TJ, TR. Grows it in Alaska. Welcome all the way from Alaska. You are what, 3:30 there? GT. Perfect. Sounds good. Thanks for joining. I'm just trying to talk about, have you ever done any like winter, like fall crops? Because I'm trying to decide when I need to start like my lettuce and my kohlrabi for actual fall growing. Like, I've already reseeded my lettuce for summer, but I kind of have to look. I think, Johnny Seeds has like a list of when to succession plant stuff. So I should look on that. That's what I should do. That's a good idea. So I'm trying to decide which of my seeds now I should be using to grow up at the top of the hill. So I have a few different kinds of beans. I was really kind of sad because the ones I planted that got eaten up were purple beans that I got in a seed swap. So I don't really have any more of those. So I don't know if anyone's grown. It's like a purple bush bean. I don't know what it tastes like, but they look really pretty. So I'm excited about that. And then, yeah, my different sunflowers. So my branching sunflower got bent and broken, and the others are just little stubs sticking up. But the zucchini sitting right behind it looks perfectly fine. So I don't know. Do you think I should try and grow more veggies, or should I switch to flowers? They also ate my rose mallow, but there's a lot of other stuff that they really haven't been bothering. So maybe I'll just move. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just move a chunk of the Sweet Williams. I'll prune them back and stick a bit up there and see how that does. See how that does. So what have you been growing, GT? Have you been putting anything in the ground this week? Anything harvesting? You're still a bit ways out for harvesting, are you yet? Up in Alaska. Hey, Arizona. Thanks for stopping by. Your latest video looked a little scary. I caught some air coming down off that jump there. It looked pretty cool. Looked fun. Yeah, thanks for coming. Are you going to show more videos of your trip, or was that just like a private vacation, no vlogging or anything? So the other thing I did want to talk is I'm going to be going harvest. Good for you. I've got one bulb so far. The rest of mine bolted, so I will be harvesting radish pods. I started my seeds 2 weeks ago, but I should have started them now because there we oh. And what seeds were those? Green Meadow? Which one? Oh, the beans? Beans, like, they germinate, and then from the time they germinate, they just go whoop, and they grow so fast. And then, for fall. Oh, wow, you've already started your fall ones. Okay. You're zone 6, right? Yeah, I've never done the fall, anything for fall, really. Like last year was the first time I really heard about people growing into fall and into winter. And then when I saw how well my lettuce and spinach did in spring here, it even got down to like 27, 26 for a few nights. It was out under snow, frost. I was like, oh, okay, wow, this really opens up like a whole nother season for me. So I need to start watching some more videos on the fall planting for people in my zone, and maybe read up on Johnny's and see what I should do there. So another thing I did want to discuss was seed collecting, so saving seeds. So I'm thinking of doing a live in a few weeks and going more over like my experience last year with seed swapping and how to save seeds, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to go and take seeds off of this marigold and I'll let it dry and then I'll grow it again. And then sometimes it's like, well, sometimes it's not that easy. So you need to make sure that it matures on the plant, and each plant has like its own ways of drying it and of making sure that you get a pure variety. Like some plants, tomatoes and peppers and beans are self-pollinating, so more than likely you're going to get it true to zone. I mean, true to the, I can't even think what the word I'm trying to say, to the type of plant. So it's not just as simple as just popping the seeds off the plant, especially if it's a hybrid or if it's a chance of being crossbred. So I am going to do a little bit of, I think I'll do a live on that in a couple weeks when we start to get, when you start to get things, just starting to go to seed. Like I've already had a few petunias that have already gone to seed that I've grabbed off the plant. So, oh, hey, Chain Breakers, how are you? Welcome. Good evening. How are you doing? Are you hot? Are you down? You're down south, right? I'm having my rhubarb. Oh, you can't even see it in the thing. Oh, okay. The background does really weird things to my drink. But it's the rhubarb. So I just took some of my fresh rhubarb and I simmered it in a little bit of water and some sugar and a splash of lemon juice. And then I let it just cook down. And then you just kind of mash it up. And I mixed it with the ginger ale. It's really good. Cauliflower green, cabbage, lettuce, and collards are going. Oh, good. Good, good, good. And carrots. Yeah, I've never grown carrots or cauliflower. I'm doing like the scarbita cabbage, which is technically like more of a Napa cabbage, but yeah, it's bolted. It started flowering this week. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And collards. I grew collards last year and I have some seeds for it. And I didn't get a chance to start them in the spring because I had so much else going on and I didn't have room for them. So I have collared vate, I think it's called, the seeds that are definitely going on my fall grow list. Hi, Bonnie. Thanks for stopping by. South Carolina, it's about 80. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. I know I have friends over on the West Coast in Oregon, and it's like 100, 109. They're saying it's going to be like 115 on Sunday. I don't think Salem's ever seen 115 degrees. They're freaking out. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. This background is a little busy tonight with my shirt, I'm thinking. Oh, yes, my daughter insisted on doing my makeup tonight. She picked out my shirt and then said, oh, you need to go with some purple makeup. So we went with the purple. So yeah, so these are the Sweet Williams that I'm thinking of maybe moving up to the top of the hill. So these are my Sweet Williams and my allium, which were amazing this year. They're like literally this big. And I got those at Flower Bulbs Aras. I'll type it in the chat if anyone's interested, especially here in Canada. It is in Mississauga, so just south of me. I'm here just outside of Toronto. It's a local flower bulb company if anyone is interested, and they have a really nice selection. They had the best price, and they have free shipping over, I think it's $65 or $70, and then I'm close enough that I could just go pick up if I don't spend that much money. But hi. Hey, Hickory Croft Farm, how are you? Hope everyone is well tonight. I'm all right. This weather has been kind of nice and cool. I don't know. We're going to be getting some rain tomorrow, and they're saying thunderstorms on the weekend. I don't know. So I went to work today, had an earlier day on the job, and I spent quite a bit of time on the deck in my recliner, just relaxing because I know I'm not going to be able to be out there enjoying it on the weekend if it's thunderstorms. So that's the one thing. Like we have, I guess I haven't really shown it in the pictures, but we have like a gazebo, and we've had the same gazebo probably 15 years. And we had the problem where we kept getting because we had so much wind coming through. It's like a wind tunnel in the backyard. We kept getting the tops would rip, right? And so like every year we're like replacing the tops. And so like at the end of the season, sometimes you'd see them on sale. So my husband would grab, one or two if they had extra. And so we would save those. And then we just kind of got fed up with it. But the supports were round. The camera. The supports were round and very sturdy. So they weren't like the flimsy gazebos that a lot of people have that bend and whatever. So that part was holding up just fine. So what we ended up doing about, 5 years ago, we went and we got lattice. So we got like the black plastic lattice, and then we just cut it into triangle shapes and zip tied it onto the top of the gazebo. It has held up. It has been amazing. It doesn't get too heavy with the snow because the snow can kind of drip through it. We do like sweep it off. We have like the big thing to scrape it off. We get some dappled shade. So it's not the best for shade, but our trees filled in. So we get pretty much full shade now. The only problem is when it rains. We don't have a lot of protection. If we get a really good rain, we can't be out on the deck. So that's the only thing that I wish we could be out there. But I like that it's open because then we get the shade from the tree and it's open on the top. And so the hot air just rises right on out. So it stays nice and cool. It doesn't get trapped like it would in a gazebo sometimes. Let me just check the chat. Hi, hope everyone is well. I heard we need more rain. Oh, yeah, and they have to go do chores. Boo. You have chickens. Everyone has chickens. I feel like I'm the only person I'm the only person on YouTube that doesn't have chickens. Every time someone has a pest in the garden or they find tomato hornworms, that we're like, what do I do? And they're like, feed it to the chickens. We don't all have chickens. I'm trying, but scared they're going to get it as well. Artist in the garden, but it looks like it is coming next week. Yeah. I feel like we've been getting a sufficient amount of rain recently. I mean, we can always use a bit more. But the problem is like we have the hill in the back and it's clay soil. and we've amended it, but honestly, like, we can have like torrential downpours for like 3 days, and then we get 1 day of sun and wind, and it's dry. So the rest of the garden, like out in the front, it doesn't seem that bad. And the pots, my pots haven't been drying out very much as this year. I did use the in a lot of my flower pots, because Costco is the only place we could go to buy stuff, and I bought the Miracle Grow moisture control, and I put those in my flower pots, and they did really well. They're not like drying out even when we had like that super warm weather. So we need more as well. Okay, so I'd asked earlier, people that do a fall planting of like greens and cold crops, when do you usually tend to start your cold crops? And Hickory Craft, how's your kohlrabi? Is it, I mean, mine, like, the greens look amazing, but I'm not like noticing anything bulbing up in the soil. I hope it doesn't turn out like my radishes where they don't bulb up at all. Oh, the thumb. Oh, thank you. That was from the peonies. Here, I'll show you this one too. These ones. So I did that bouquet after that video is coming out on Sunday. And so that was like after the big rainstorm, and I went and tried to salvage as many of my peonies as I could, and I shoved them all in a bouquet, and they looked really pretty, but I did leave the bouquet out on the deck because they were full of earwigs. You. Chicks, if they are larger age differences, further apart in age, can sometimes be problematic. Isn't that true with all kinds of chicks? We're talking about chickens, right? Oh. Yeah, more radishes September. Yeah, so I need to get out the chart and see when to start growing them. So, okay, Hickory Croft, you are growing the kohlrabi, and when did you put it in the ground? Did you pre-seed it, or did you direct seed it, sow it in the spring? Because I did mine the winter sowing method, right? So they sprouted and they were quite big, and I planted them out later than I should have. I should have got them in. We have one that is finally getting a ball. Oh, okay. Maybe I just need to kind of poke around in there more. I'm noticing some earwigs. I'm noticing some earwigs in some of my gardens, so I'm going to have to go force my husband to drink a bottle of beer so I can use... has anyone tried that? Apparently you're supposed to just take a bottle of beer and then leave a little bit of beer in the bottom. Or you can use oil and soy sauce, and then you just stick that out in the garden and let the earwigs fall in. You grew it ahead in the greenhouse, yeah. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited. I watched, I can't think of his name. I watched his video yesterday. I'll have to check and see what his name was. He had just harvested all of his kohlrabi, and it looked really good. Some of it, I guess, it looked like he hadn't had 100%, but he is going to be trying again in the fall because he wanted to. I think he was saying something about the pests. Yeah, Lion Crest Outdoors here. I will post the link to that video. Yeah, so he went and harvested it, and his looked really good. Okay, here's the link to his page. I don't think I can find the actual video. Diatomaceous earth for, yeah, you know what? And I think I had a container of it that said earwig stuff, and it was diatomaceous earth somewhere in the garage, but I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. Has anyone here that's growing, has anyone here ever tasted kohlrabi? That's what I want to know. Everyone seems to be growing it this year, and I've never tried it. I've never had it. I have no idea how to cook it. Yeah. So what's blooming right now in your gardens? Nope. I know, no one. I think part of it was Baker Creek was giving out kohlrabi seeds for free, and the free seeds, and so suddenly everyone in the world is trying it. I'd never even heard of it until last summer, and of course, and now I'm growing it. Yep. Snapdragons. Yeah, my snaps just. Oh, here's my. This one I think is. Oh no, that's my lupin. Sorry, I don't have any pictures of my snapdragons yet this year. Yeah. Oh yes, we will be doing the kohlrabi review. Yeah. We'll have to come up with a good recipe for it. What if we all hate it? That'll be really sad. It's supposed to taste like cabbage, right? Like it's a brassica, so it's kind of like a cabbagey. I'm assuming it tastes, in my head, I'm picturing it tasting kind of like broccoli stem, like a broccoli stem would. Harvest my first Carly taste. Oh, good. Okay, that's what I was picturing. Hi, Angel. Welcome. I didn't see you slip into the chat. Yeah. First flower on zucchini, cucumber, and some squash. Everyone hit the like button. Thank you, Evergreen Meadow. Green Meadow. Why did I say Evergreen? Green Meadow Farm. Thank you. Yeah, my zucchini is just starting to get like little flower buds on it. And then I have my patty pan squash. And it just looks slightly bigger than when I planted it like 3 or 4 weeks ago. It's just sitting there. I don't know why. It's got a lot of soil. It's nice, fresh soil. I'm fertilizing it. It's in with the beans, but it's not really doing anything yet. I've also never grown patty pan squash, and I've also never had patty pan squash. And the first time and only time I really ever heard of patty pan squash was when I grew it back on Farmville on Facebook. So, hey, Kitchen Garden Therapy. Oh, sorry you're late. Oh, no worries. No worries. You're never late. Yeah, so, right? Like, has anyone tried patty pan squash either? Like, I'm growing so many things this year that I've never eaten or tried before. Oh, yeah. Lack of... Tone talked to me about running out of space, buddy. I have nothing left even to grow in, like, to start anything else. I will have to pull stuff out of my buckets. Like, I have not a single flower pot left. I crammed my flower pots full of everything. So yet I had such an abundance of petunias that I grew from seed, and I didn't want to, waste them or whatever. And whatever I didn't sell at my seedling sale, I just shoved in pots. So it looks pretty, but now I have no pots to start anything else. But now I have that section at the top of my hill. So lots of reviews on the green stock planters. Oh, okay, green stock. I emailed them actually this week asking if and when they plan on shipping to Canada. And she said that they are working on it for 2020. So it might be available for shipping to Canada hopefully next spring, like at the beginning of the season. But I don't know if they're just having trouble getting it across the border, or if it's just, the cost of it, of doing business here in Ontario is too expensive right now. But I said, let me know. Yeah. So they're working on international shipping for 2022. So that sounds so weird. Can you believe next year is going to be 2022? Oh my God. I got a little late on my pure of the tomato plants, and now I am regretting putting the pure off until now. The pure? I got a little late on my pure of the tomato. I don't understand the pure of the tomato plants. Angel says, I hope I get some squash this year. They have blooms, but mostly male flowers. You can freeze them. You can pop the male flowers off the plant and put them in a Ziploc bag. Pruning. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, you can take the male squash flowers off the plant and put them in a Ziploc bag and throw them in the freezer. And then that way, if and when you get a female flower, a lot of times the males are not flowering at the same time, you can pull Buddy out of the freezer and put him to work. So I've never done it because I've never really grown squash beyond. I grew baby boo pumpkins last year, which are super cute, and cucamelons. So that's like the only thing I've kind of grown in that family before. So they all just kind of did their own seeding. Sorry, spell check it ahead. No, I wasn't. I just wasn't sure. Oh yeah, you gotta pruning. I found you gotta really stay on top of it. Otherwise, it can be kind of like, and I never knew like how harsh you can actually prune a tomato. Like I just kind of would go in, and I was always afraid to take off too much. And then I watched Laura at Garden Answer last summer. And her video, actually, I think it was from 2 years ago. And she had like this tomato plant that kind of had gone out of control in one of her raised beds. And she went and pruned that thing hard. I was slightly horrified watching her. But when she did, like you could see all this fruit that was underneath that you couldn't see at all, right? So Nice tips. I did not know you could do that with flowers. I've heard, this is what I've heard. Don't quote me. Well, you can quote me on that, but I could be wrong. I've never tried it, but people swear that it actually does work. Yeah, you just, turn on your Marvin Gaye and you pull out the zucchini out of the freezer and, yeah, get some baby squash. Wild tomatoes, yeah. They can get out of hand really, really fast. I have to maintain mine because it's right in the walkway. So in a couple more weeks, once, like, they're almost at the railing. Oh, where's the picture I took? I did a little video today over on Instagram. I actually post a lot more often on Instagram. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it is Brampton_gardener on Instagram. And I post, I don't know, probably way too much. I post like 2 or 3 pictures a day over there. I don't have a screenshot of it. I took a video and I put it on Instagram. So if you want to see, can I do a link to that? Oh, I can try that. So you can see I just did this little video asking who thinks they're going to win, who's going to win to the top of the railing. And they are almost to the top of the railing. And I can't believe how quickly they've grown. So once they do kind of get up and above the top of the railing, let me see if I can get the link. Once they get to the top of the railing, I have to then go in and let me see if it's going to work. I've never done this before. So exciting. There's the link. Yeah, so once they get up, kind of up above the railing a bit, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and kind of lash them to the railing with a few straps of the twine. And that just kind of is going to hold them to the railing because we have the railing and then the tomatoes and then the walkway. And last year, like, they just got completely out of hand because sometimes they'll grow up and then, we get a windstorm or we get rain and then they kind of just, and so I was there, like, just leaning into them, pushing them up against, holding up my arm and going with trying to tie them up to the railing. So I'm going to be preventative this year. And as soon as they get up high enough, I'm going to just start kind of tying them to the railing. Once they get up, like, above, like, our, like our headspace and they kind of start to come out a bit, and then that's fine. But I want to be able to walk through there, right? You've decided to prune the tomato suckers this year to see if it makes a big difference. I've never pruned them before. Always just left them and ended up screaming. I, like, weekly, if not bi-weekly, not bi-weekly, twice a week, 3 times a week. A lot of times, even when I'm out just watering, I am snipping off little suckers, because if I don't, especially where they're at, I cannot afford to let it get out of hand, because all of a sudden I'll have an extra branch coming. Last year, my tomatoes, so they're sitting on the ground in the grow bags, and they made it all the way up to the top of the gazebo that is up on the deck. And then they went up like 3 or 4 feet above that, just straight up. And then they fell back down a bit and all the way back down to the ground. So, I mean, they were a minimum of like 15 feet tall. Like, they were absolute monsters and they were going all over the place. So yeah, I went in a few times and just pruned back almost all the leaves that I could. So they can get out of hand. Okay, who's in chat? I think we got a newbie. Oh, yeah. Hey, Danny. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's Wicked Awesome Gardeners. Awesome. Wicked Awesome birthday wishes to you. Thank you for joining us. You have big plans, I hope. Big plans for, I won't say how old you are, but happy birthday. Anything else I missed? My tomatoes are still in the ICU. I was wondering about that the other day, Bonnie, when I was I logged on for your greenhouse video, and I saw the one about the tomatoes down below, and I forgot I was going to ask how your tomatoes were doing. Hey, Farm and HVAC, welcome. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so Bonnie, Artist in the Garden, I don't know if you've seen her latest videos, but she just installed this really nice little greenhouse. What are the dimensions on that? It looks pretty big. Although, I mean, you're going to have that thing filled up in no time. But yeah, it's a polycarbonate. It's got a nice, I like the shape on it. It's really pretty. It's going to be so nice to go out, especially in the cooler weather in the fall. When the fall is crisp and you can go and sit in there and have your cup of coffee. Oh, it's going to be so nice. I'm going to be so jealous. I'm going to have to come up and visit. I'll come up for a coffee. Oh, happy birthday, Chris. Happy birthday. 10 by 12. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah. Hey, I'm caught up on my tomatoes are taller than 6 feet already too. Oh my goodness, wow. Wow, that's yeah, mine aren't quite there yet. I think you had yours in the ground sooner though, right? You're slightly warmer climate. Oh, sadly, I have to go. The chickens look at me in their coop. I'm hoping to start posting again because I'm getting a new camera. Oh, yay! That's exciting. That's exciting. I'm still waiting on my GoPro that I'm renting. It's not available yet, and I want my GoPro because I want to do some touring. I have some ideas for some new videos, kind of just touring around the neighborhood and showing a bit of downtown Brampton. Brampton, Ontario is the flower city. So originally it was full of greenhouses downtown. And some of the city parks are just amazing. Like they have just beautiful, beautiful plantings, and there's a very rich history. Um, I'm renting it, so I'm not buying it. I'm renting it, and I believe it's a GoPro Hero 5, Session 5. But I don't get to we use the Osmo Action. I'm actually, don't tell anybody, I'm renting it from my local library. So Brampton Library has GoPros that you can rent. So I did borrow it earlier. So if you saw any of the filming, the footage where it was like hands-on, like kind of more first-person, just my hands, and I wasn't in it. It was like in front of me. That was because I was wearing the body cam, and so that was really fun. The only problem I had with it was it had like I was doing it in 4K because I was like, oh, it's got 4K. I'm going to record in 4K. Oh my God, 4K videos take up so much memory on your computer. So I had to quickly convert and make edit it and get it uploaded and then back up those videos to the cloud and then delete them off the computer. Like one of the 4K videos had as much data on it as 5, 6 of my other videos. So I didn't realize I started uploading them all, and then all of a sudden my computer was like, "You're running out of room," and I was like, "What?" So yeah, so I don't know if maybe I don't need to do 4K. Like my regular handy cam that I just use this is what I normally use out in the garden, my videos. And yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's not 4K, and it definitely has much smaller. Costco, yeah, that's a great place to get it because if it doesn't work out or something doesn't work, that's the thing. I have an external hard drive somewhere. I should get another one. I got to start backing it up. But that's the thing. Like we were talking about. I don't know why I'm so itchy tonight. I think there's something in the windows open. Or it could be the makeup my daughter insisted I put on. 3 YouTube channels. Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying not to keep any of the actual videos on the camera. As soon as I make the movie, then the movie gets uploaded to YouTube, and then I back up that movie to my Google Photos, and then I back up the original film to the Google Photos as well. For now, I have enough data. I have enough room in there. And then I delete them off of the computer. But I tried to go pro. I didn't really like it. Or maybe I'm just too lazy. I don't want to transfer anything. Just film and edit and upload from phone. Oh, okay. See, I don't do anything from the phone because I have this cheap little $50 4-inch, just cheap little Figo, I think is the name, phone. Because I work construction with my husband, and so I need to have a phone that I can put into my pocket. And women's pants do not have decent sized pockets. And I've taken to wearing scrubs the last year. That's worked the best. They have a lot of nice room and big pockets. But even then, if I have a larger phone, because my husband tried to give me his old phone, as soon as I squat down, the phone slides out of the pocket because it's too big. So I would like to have a nicer phone, but I don't. And I think my phone has, maybe it's 2 megapixels. So I don't even use my phone to take pictures for Instagram or anything. Like the quality is so terrible. I have a touchpad, like an 8-inch touchpad, Samsung, I think it is, that I use all the time. And I will use that for videos sometimes. But again, I don't like editing on it. I tried editing with the scrub, and they're loose enough, even though they're not like stretchy fabric, they're tough enough to wear on a construction site. I can have my phone in one pocket, I can have my knife in the other pocket, and I can have my hands full, and I can still squat down. There's enough room in the thigh and the knee for me to be able to squat down fully, and they're comfortable, and they're not like tight. So even when it's hot out, they're not like clinging to you or anything, right? They're nice and loose. I don't wear the tops though. I think that would look a little show up with the job site, the construction site, with like a little bit kitty cats all over the scrub top. Although I'm sure they have plain scrub tops, but all the scrub tops I always see, they're always like, for people that work, I guess, at a pediatric nurse or dog groomers. So yeah. And I've actually worn them out in the garden, and they're actually pretty handy. You can keep a pair of pruners in the pockets pretty good. I love editing on phone because those apps are so easy. I tried KineMaster, and it actually works. It's very easy to use, but it will not save the file. Every time I go to save, it says, sorry, there was an error. Sorry, there was an error. So I cannot get KineMaster to save for me. I don't know if I really noticed the difference in the 4K as much. Because there was so much more movement, like I strapped it onto my bike and went for a ride up and down the street, and it was just a different type of filming. Like you're just moving, like I had it strapped onto my chest and I'm moving with it. Whereas this camera is more often on the tripod. So, I mean, I don't know. I can tag you, and then I'll let you know which videos I used, and then you can, if you want to go look and see if you can tell a difference in the quality, because there was one video where I had this camera here on the tripod, and then I also used the GoPro as well. Hey, Hickory Croft, thank you so much for coming in. Say hi to the chickens, and happy birthday again. I hope you have a good night, and I will see you Tuesday. You do your lives on Tuesday, right? I was in Pam's live last night, and she's like, oh yeah, just, if you do it the same day, people will know, oh, it's Wednesday night, it's time to go to Pam's night. I told Pam, I was like, I didn't even know it was Wednesday night. I just saw it pop up in my notifications. 4K is good if you want to zoom in on the footage. Oh, okay. Yeah. So much of it was moving a lot. So I learned that I had to kind of slow down a bit with it. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel more comfortable using. You use Splice app. Very easy. You can do voiceover, add music. So, you know what? Maybe I'll try that app, because I know everyone raves about KineMaster, and my daughter uses it all the time on her phone. And I, for some reason, every time I go to use it, it does an error. And I've tried deleting it and reinstalling it, and I don't know. It hates me. So I will try Splice app. Let me write that down. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to have to start learning how to use better quality editing software. Like right now, I'm just using the cheap Windows editor. I tried some of these other ones. I tried Caden Live, and I've tried a few others, and it was just like, I felt like I was, like in the front of a cockpit, and there's just so many buttons, so many things. Like I couldn't figure out how to split the video. I just want to crop it. That's all I want to do is crop this video, and I'm done. And I couldn't figure out how to do it. And I watched videos, and I was just like, no. So I went back to my tried and true Windows, and because editing itself was I was just learning how to do it. I was just starting out with the videos, and I was like, this is too much all at once. So that will be my project, I think, for the fall and winter months coming up with, spend some time and figure out how to do some editing and use the better software. Because that's the thing, is when you have like the GoPro and you have the regular camera, and then you splice the footage together from the two cameras, and you try to, sync it up and whatever. That's really cool. And I do not have the ability to do that right now. But Okay, so Bonnie, you're getting the GoPro. Are you planning on using like more than one, or just like the one camera at a time? Or are you going to try and like do the different shots and like combine it? Rhubarb's a little chunky. I made my little special drink again tonight, but I should have blended it up a little bit more. On the Farm with Smoky Mist. Did I totally miss it? No, you did not totally miss it. We are discussing, what are we talking about? Right now we're talking about like film and what kind of cameras we use, GoPro and stuff like that. You can't use it yet. Oh no. I use 3 GoPros, a 360 camera, and we have a drone. Oh my God. I learned a trick, and you probably already know this, but I watched it on a video and I thought, oh my God, that's brilliant. What the guy does is you have your different cameras set up and you turn them on to film, and then you do this. And then you leave them running. And then when you go to splice it in, you will see like the sharp sound line on the videos. And so then you can use that from the clap to like line up all the videos to synchronize them. So, yeah. My Artist on the Harley channel has a lot of camera shots. Oh, cool. Yeah, you know what? I got to take the time and check out your other channels. I love the idea of a drone. It's really not practical. Like for a drone shot, I can just take it out of my bedroom window because I'm in a townhouse. I have a GoPro. I can't use it yet. You watched the video like I just turned it on. Like I literally just turned it on, and you can push the button on the back, and then you can actually do a voice command. So I would say you just say GoPro start filming, and then it would go, and then you say GoPro stop filming, and it would stop. Yeah, a neighbor has a drone, and I don't think he's used it in quite a while. We have so many regulations being in town here, and we're like right on the train tracks. And I mean, some people do use them, and you'll be outside and you'll be like, you hear this noise. They're so loud. So they're not stealthy at all. But I love watching drone footage. I think I don't know, it's just really cool watching it, especially when they go up and you're like, woo, and you can like see the whole yard and everything, which, like I said, I could do it from a ladder. It's like I have a very small backyard. So I don't need more really. Like when I was using the 2 cameras, it was because I had the one on the tripod and the other was on the body camera. But honestly, I wouldn't even have room to set up 2 separate cameras. I mean, really, I can set the camera on the tripod and you can see the entire yard. So got to try it out. Farm and HVAC. Do you have like a 10-year-old child nearby that could help you and show you how to use it? Because for some reason they managed to just pick it up like no problem. My daughter does these video editing stuff on her phone all the time. She'll take pictures and video and then splice it together. And I'm like, she's 12. I was like, how did you know how to do that? Oh, you just play with her and whatever. Oh my God. Okay. Don't tell her I told you this. We were out video. Canadian Permaculture Legacy channel does a lot of drone footage and I love it. I just started using a mic as well. The mic is cool. I have like the directional microphone that hooks onto mine with the dead cat on it. And it works really good, except for my thumb screw's busted on it right now. And so I can't use it with the camera. And I have noticed that my sound quality is not as good. So I apologize. Now that the stores are open, I need to go maybe to Walmart and see if I can't get a thumb screw to work on my camera. But okay, so I went out to prune the lilac back a few days ago. And so I told my daughter, I said, okay, you have to come out and help me because I'm going to cut it. And where it's located, like it's right behind... Okay, it's right here. So this is the lilac here. So it's literally like in the garden bed. So as I cut the branches, I'm like have to hand it to her to hold. They edited your first video. Just pay them to edit it for you, right? Yeah, why not? So I'm having to hand her the branches. So I cut like the first 2 and she was like, oh, Mom, you should film this. You should film this. And I'm like, well, it's just one small lilac that I'm just cutting back. And I don't even really know what I'm doing. I'm just getting it cut back because it's like taking over and I planted stuff below it that needs light and now it's blocking it. And then the rains come and it knocks it down and I need to take, the blooms off. I need to deadhead it anyways, but I wanted to cut it back quite a bit because it's supposed to be a dwarf Korean lilac. It's supposed to stay in its little spot. It gets pretty big every year. I cut it back. So anyway, she goes, she's like, oh no, you gotta film it. So she goes and gets her phone to do some filming. So then of course at this point she can't help with pruning anymore because she's filming. So then she decides to do the voiceover for me, as me. So she's got the camera and she's like, okay, and now I'm pruning back the lilac, and what you do is you just cut it right here, and then you make sure you know. Oh my god, it was so funny. She went on and on and on, and she sounded exactly like me, and it's exactly what I would have said. I'm like, why don't you just take over the channel? We'll just have you start doing the filming now, right? So 12 years old and she's already mocking me. I noticed that. Yeah, they took the camera for the pizza. My daughter was laughing at that. She's like, hey, they have the camera. Yeah. How do they like the, are you going to have like a lock on it so no one else can come in the greenhouse? It's mommy's space. You can watch them outside playing, but they can't come in. Yeah. I know our kids are all going to have their own channel soon. I should probably have more subscribers than I do. Oh, speaking of subscribers, I am excited to announce that I am at, where am I? 229 tonight. So at my last live, I think I just broke 200. So 29 subscribers in 2 weeks. Not too bad. Oh, the surprise clips. Nice. Nice. My daughter just takes stuff with her phone and then sends it to me on Messenger. So I get ding, 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 and I look at it and I'm like, oh my God. Like that one that she posted of me with the bug. Yeah, yay. I know, I kind of feel like I've been a little, I don't know, we've been busy with work, right? So I haven't been able to promote the channel and promote my videos as much as I would like, and I haven't been able to get as many out because I'm working, and then my daughter is on the computer during the day doing schooling, and then in the evenings it's nice and I want to be outside, or I'm in the garden and I'm doing stuff, and I don't always want to come in and sit on the computer and do my editing in the evenings like I should. But she'll be out of school next week, and then I will be able to just use the computer whenever I want. Because, of course, if she's not in class, a lot of times she's in playing Roblox or whatever, right? So congratulations on subscribers. I don't know what's going on with mine. I don't know what's going on with that. They said last night, Pam from Container Crops had a really nice live chat. And she talked a lot about like the notification bell and how it works, and how you only get 3 bell notifications in a 24-hour period for your videos. So if you post 3 videos, all 3 bells might go to one video. You might get 2 bells on one video and 1 on the other. You might get one on each. It's kind of random. So it's a really good live to go and watch if you haven't yet. It's on her channel. But she was also talking about YouTube subscribers. So if you have subscribers on your channel that in the last, I don't know if it was 180 days or 3 months, or I can't remember what it was, but if they have not interacted with your channel in that time period, they haven't liked a video, they haven't watched a video or anything like that, then YouTube will retract their subscription. So if you are losing people and you've had your channel for more than 6 months, maybe do some kind of some kind of an engagement type video. Like put a video out there and like ask a question. What's your favorite recipe? What's your favorite this? Do a giveaway, comment below and give away a packet of seeds, something like that, just to get all the engagement from as many of the subscribers that you have, and see if that doesn't help you retain them. They also said sometimes YouTube will pull them if they think it's a bot or something. Like if you get too many subscriptions too close together, like if you're in a thread and people are like, oh, and you go down the thread of people that have YouTube channels and you start subscribing. If you don't start watching the videos, or if they don't start watching your videos and then YouTube can pull them off. So if you, oh, that's good. Yeah, that's not bad. 4 months, 147 subscribers. Yeah. But she said, oh, thanks, Angel. She said, if you can message YouTube or email them or whatever and say, listen, these are legitimate subscriptions that you're pulling off. Stop it or give them back or something. I don't know. Because like Arizona Kid, he popped in here earlier And I subscribed to his channel. I watched videos, I commented on them, and then he would comment on one of mine, and then I would see, you know, if something comes up, I go over to his channel. I had to subscribe again. I had to resubscribe to his channel like 3 or 4 times, and I had commented and watched several of his videos. So I don't know if it's just because it was mainly like a completely different genre than I usually watch. So YouTube was suspicious and thought that wasn't really me watching it. He does more like reviews of 4-wheelers and ATV type equipment. But he used to be a dairy farmer, so he is interested in farming videos. So you will see him around on a lot of the farming channels as well. So I don't know why YouTube just kept booting me off of his page. But there's quite a few pages where I've seen that before. I'll go and comment, or they'll comment on my page and I'll be like, oh, I haven't seen one of their videos in a while. And I'll go over and I'm like, oh, that's because I've been unsubscribed to them somehow, right? So yeah. Even though I already, yeah. So the more active you are on other people's channels, then the more active they will be on your channel. And the more likely you will be able to keep your subscriber list. So I don't know. I need to spend a little bit more time on finding places on sharing the videos, just kind of getting it out there. Yeah, YouTube is being weird. Sometimes I have to go to search bar for channels I watch because, well, that was the thing. RB Nanny, Renee posted a video on YouTube about her her garden tour, and I don't like to click on the videos in YouTube on my touchpad. I mean, on Facebook. If I click a YouTube link on Facebook, it loads it in a different page that I'm not logged into, and then I have to re-log in every time in order to like or comment. So I prefer to just go to my YouTube app. So I'm like, oh, okay, so I know she posted it. So I go over to YouTube, I hit subscriptions. Didn't come up in my subscriptions. I had to go and find her little picture on the side, click on it, and sure enough, there was her new video. And I've subscribed to her. I have my bell notifications on, and like I had to go search it out. So it's like if I didn't know that she had posted a new video, I would never have seen it. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So another thing she was saying is trying to be consistent, like with when you upload videos, so people know when to kind of keep an eye out for your videos. So I have been doing my main upload weekly on Sunday mornings, and then I might throw in a random video throughout the week, just if I have the footage done and I want to get it out and break it up. I have a video hopefully dropping tomorrow morning, but I have to get it all finished and uploaded, and then I have my video ready for Sunday, already ready, uploaded and scheduled on YouTube. And I think I'm going to be sticking with the every other Thursday with the lives. I think once a week is a bit much for me at this point. Maybe at some point I'll change that. I don't know. But I enjoy spending time in other people's lives and, you know, just hanging out in the chat rooms and stuff like that. So sorry, I got a pop-up come up on the screen. There we go. So yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with the every other week for now on the live channel, on the lives. And it gives me enough time for stuff to have happened in between for me to be able to, you know, have something to talk about. It gives, you know, more stuff going on in the garden. And honestly, these summer evenings have been so beautiful that I've just been enjoying hanging out on the deck and yoga on my deck. I love when I get a chance to get my yoga mat out when the dog gives it back and do my yoga, because he absolutely loves doing yoga out on the deck. So I know gardening is supposed to be my downtime and my relaxation, but sometimes it can be frustrating, especially when I go out and I see stuff has eaten all my beans. So I hope they recover. I'm afraid to do live, shy to talk in front of camera. You know, it's a lot easier because like Pam says, you really need to go watch Pam's live. She does such a great job in her lives. But she says it's not like it's not like you're talking into the camera, because when you talk into the camera, like even on your phone, well, I guess you're doing your phone, so you see yourself, but this is a webcam. So it's like I'm talking to the mirror, right? So it's like I'm talking to a mirror. I'm talking to myself, which I do on occasion anyways. So it's not like you can actually see everybody sitting out there in the audience. Like if you were on a stage or something, it's different. But if you want to try a live, but you're scared to do it on your own because you're shy, let me know. And I will, I was thinking of maybe doing I think if I use the other app that Gail uses, you can have someone else come up onto the screen with you. And so you can be like side by side. And so you could do a live together. So if anyone in here is too nervous to do a live by themselves and would like to join me for a live, even next week, no, not next week, 2 weeks from today. So I'm doing every other Thursday. So my next live would be July 8th. So I'll write that in here, July 8th. I will try and figure out how to do that. I think it's called StreamYard. And she just posts a link. She sends a link in the chat, and then you click on that link and your camera comes on. And you can just come on for, 5 minutes and answer a few questions or say a few things and just get it out of your system. So I will post that as when I do my upload for next week's chat. And if you want to try it, if you want to join me, if you want to share something, or if you want me to ask you some questions, and you want to give it a go and you want to join the live chat, then just let me know ahead of time and I will try and figure out how to do that. So I would like to try. So I have to download StreamYard to laptop. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that, because I don't know if everyone has to download StreamYard, or if just the person hosting it does it and then you just click the link and from there. So I think maybe I'll ask Gail on her next video that I see, because those people are always doing that, and then they'll post the link, and then pretty soon there'll be like 3 or 4 people up in the chat, hanging out and just visiting and whatever. So makes it more like a Zoom meeting. It's it's a little more lively. It's fun, and it takes the pressure off you if you're you don't know what to say, or you're feeling uncomfortable in front of the camera. It definitely would take the pressure off of you. So if you are interested in trying that, July 8th, I will look into that for sure. I think that'd be fun. I would like to host. I have like my own talk show and invite people on. Our next guest is Kitchen Garden Therapy. Now I need theme music. I gotta come up with some theme music. Maybe my daughter can play me in with the, she has the recorder. She can play Havana on the recorder. With something like that, I'd probably have to get like YouTube music permissions or something like that. So for my plants at the top of the hill, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in a few more beans. I'm going to try and reseed the baby's breath, because I really need the baby's breath for my bouquets. So now I'm going to be stuck without a lot of filler, because my blooms are faster than my filler, I'm noticing. So I'm at that time of the year where stuff's starting to come in, and I need to get out my garden journal. Does anyone here keep a garden journal? Do you keep notes somehow on a piece of paper, or the back of a 2x4 or anything like that? Because I've never done one before, but I'm starting now and realizing I'm starting to write down, I need to start these seeds sooner next year, like 2 weeks sooner. So I went through a lot of them, like the petunias. I started 3rd week of January, and they were huge. So I'm like, they could go like 2 weeks to a month later. So next year I'm looking like, say, middle to end of February. Those are your journals. Yeah. Well, that's like how I'm journaling, like the experience, but I mean, like when to start for next year, right? So I'm going through and I'm writing down, like petunias next year, start them I think I put like between week 6 to 8 for my petunias. And my pansies, I would start even sooner. I started those like I think week 2. And I could honestly have started those like even New Year's Day. That could be my New Year's Day video. First seed starting video of New Year's Day pansies. Because they could have been bigger when I planted them out, because they can go out so much sooner. And I will definitely be doing my cool flowers earlier. Next year, I waited on them a bit because I was scared. You still use a calendar on the wall for your garden stuff. Yeah. I don't really have, like, my calendar on my wall still says May, I think. So I have never been a very organized person. I am definitely type B all the way. I hardly ever write anything down. I don't keep track of stuff. I'm just a wing and a prayer kind of a person. And then last year, we were stuck home, and the kids were home from school and trying to keep my daughter busy and active. And I had a friend, and her daughter was really into bullet journaling. And so I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And so my daughter found this, actually, she's local here in Toronto, and her name is Amanda Roshley. And she has this amazing YouTube channel. She's got merch and everything now where she sells, journaling and everything. She does bullet journals, and she does every month she'll do she does a video of like her setup, right? So she'll be like, okay, this is my theme for this month, and she'll draw it, and you can follow along and draw along with it, right? And so we started doing this just kind of as something to do during lockdown. That was, not just playing video games, and something we could do together and hang out. And I cannot draw at all. I can kind of follow along with what people are drawing. And so it became kind of fun, but honestly, it would be like the main picture. And then if they did like different trackers, and we would write down the trackers, and I would get the whole month set up, and it looked absolutely beautiful. And I would write in it like maybe 2 or 3 times. So that was kind of my goal in January, was to actually spend more time writing in my journal. So I have different calendars in it, like print out like a little calendar, and I glue it on the paper. So I have one like for food. So I write down, like, especially if it was like a really good recipe that I made or a really good dinner, sometimes you forget. So I would write down what we ate. And then I had like my self-care, chart. So like for when I did yoga, for when I did, Tai Chi, when I would do like face massage, I do, like a face mask or a bubble bath or something like that. Just basically just to come up with something to fill this stupid book that I have. But I ended up enjoying it. I ended up filling the pages and enjoying it. And then when I started my gardening journal, like I just every week I would write week 1 week, because I did the weeks of the year, like Nicole on Flower Hill Farm suggested, on like starting your seeds, knowing which week, scheduling it that way, instead of saying, okay, May 3rd is when I'm going to be starting it. It's like, no, okay, it's, week 8. So you kind of have the whole week to do whatever that task is. So I really like that. And so I printed out like the yearly calendar, and then I kept track of every week, what seeds I started. And I wrote down on my journal when I started the seeds. Some of them were when they germinated, especially the first set of seeds when I was first starting out, because it was very exciting and I didn't have a lot going on. Towards the end, it was just like, put the seeds in, and did I remember to write it down? Just so I knew like how old they were when I was putting them out into the garden. And so I do have that to go back to. And so now what I'm doing is I'm kind of going back and adjusting for next year, which week I would like start them sooner or later. So the tomatoes, I nailed it. I nailed it this year. The tomatoes were the perfect size for going into the bags. They weren't too big like last year. They weren't too small. They were perfect. And I think I did them the last week in March. I was planning on starting them April 1st. And I had some other stuff that was going in at the end of March. And I had all the soil blocks. So I thought, I'm doing all the soil blocks now, I might as well just go ahead and do them all at the same time. So I ended up putting them in a little bit earlier than I had thought, and it worked out to be absolutely perfect. And I started the dwarf tomatoes all in February. And they are huge, and they have fruit. And we've had 2 yellow ones off of the gold pearl. And I just noticed today that a couple of my tiny Tims are turning red. So I would not want to do those any later. And they stayed in the paper pots, so they didn't take up too much room. So that was my fear. If they get too big, then they take up so much room. But I had the greenhouse set up out there, and it worked out really good. Peppers. The peppers that I started in February were the perfect size for planting. But a lot of my hot peppers, the seeds got delayed, and then they got stuck in mail. And unfortunately, a lot of my hot peppers did not get started until like the end of April. And they are still pretty tiny. Like some of them were like this big going in the ground. And they're still fairly small. Like the size difference, they're like this big. And then the ones I started in February are like, this big and bushy. And my Buena Mulata, oh my goodness, this thing has got like 12, 15 purple peppers on it. Like it is going bonkers. Both of mine are just the rest are all starting to get flowers on them. And that plant is covered. So I really hope I like the taste of them because I'm going to have a lot. It's very prolific, and I will be saving the seeds for that. I love drawing in my journals and notebooks. I started my tomatoes in February. It was a bit early. I will start March next year like all previous peppers and February. Yeah. So peppers, especially the hotter the pepper. And then I finally got the seeds, and they took forever. Some of them took like 3 weeks in the baggies on the heater to germinate. And I was like, oh my God. So yeah, the super, super hot peppers, if I end up growing them again next year, I will probably be starting those like first week of February. They're going into the bags. And we'll go with that. I only did the baggie method this year on the hot peppers. I didn't bother with the tomatoes because I had 12 different varieties of tomatoes, and I was like, no, I'm not going to be, yeah. They say the hotter the pepper, the longer it takes. Ghost peppers take a month. I'm not surprised. I've read, and then of course I saw a video after that where the guy was doing like the ghost peppers, and he soaked them in Earl Grey tea for I think like an hour before putting them in either soil or the baggie method. Something about the tannins in the tea break down the coating of the thing faster. So I think it was Mike Kincaid. I don't know if you watch his channel. He does a lot of stuff with like propagating. And he's the one that was doing that in his grow tent in the house. He was doing, I can't remember if it was ghost pepper or some other ungodly hot pepper seeds. But I thought that was kind of an interesting tip. So maybe I will try giving my seeds a cup of tea next year. So yeah, so none of my other peppers have anything beyond just a few flowers. And those are the ones that I started in February. So that would be my New Mexico 6 and my Azuleo. I can never remember how to say it. That's the only one I've ever grown before is the Azuleo, and some jalapenos. But the jalapenos are not mine. The jalapenos I bought off a guy from on Facebook because I couldn't find the seeds for that. You drink a lot of, yeah. Here, let me see if I can find it for you. But, yeah, Mike Kincaid, hot pepper. Yeah, he did a lot. Oh, Carolina Reaper. Yeah, those were the ones. Here, I'll just send you to his page. Because I think he had like a series that he was doing on the hot peppers. So that's his channel. He has an interesting channel. He does a lot with propagating plants and cuttings and tree pruning, air pruning. No, not air pruning. When you do the rooting up on the branch of the plant, is that called air pruning? No, it's not. I can't think what it's called. But yeah, he has kind of an interesting scientific take on his channel. I enjoy watching it. He's also the one that probably shouldn't even talk about this. He was the one that showed how urinating on your zucchini is actually very good for them because it is high in nitrogen or whatever. So he had a series of grafting. Yeah, thank you. That's what it's called. Yeah, so he does a lot of that on his channel. So if you're interested in that, he does that. He has a ton of like rhododendrons that he's constantly propagating and doing stuff with. And then even like petunias, he'll do a lot of rooting videos. So I found them very enlightening, especially when I was just starting out last year. I was like, oh my goodness, there's so much out there. I did try rooting a piece of my holly that broke off when we transplanted it. So it's not looking so great. But of course I didn't follow any of his advice. I just stuck it in the ground and kept watering it. So that's what's going on in my garden. I think I'm going to be replacing a few of the beans, some of the baby's breath, but I might put the baby's breath down lower. Apparently it's delicious. Who knew? And I might move up the Sweet Williams up into that spot because they haven't been eating them. They've been laying in them and napping in them, but they have not been nibbling or eating my Sweet Williams. So that's good. So Frustrating. So yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. So next year I will be starting a lot of my greens that I plan on use as my bouquet filler. I'll be starting that earlier because I'm noticing that I'm kind of running into the same issue where a lot of my flowers are getting ready and they're going to be blooming soon, and my filler is just not going to be. It's not going to be ready as early as I want. So I've got a lot of basil, which was growing crazy until I got it in the ground. So I'm not sure if some of them are going big. I have one amaranth that is in a pot by the house, and I know it gets a lot more heat and sun because it's right up by the brick. And it's like 2 feet tall. Like, it is huge. And the rest of my amaranth are still like this big. Even, well, I mean, I did prune them. But even before I prune them, they're nothing like the size of that amaranth. So I don't know. It's definitely a work in progress. And I've learned so much from watching different videos on flower farming and all of that. And I am definitely not at the flower farming level. I'm barely getting my cut garden, but just trying to get everything to start growing and coming up at the proper time. So I do have a video coming out on, oh, is that the one I'm doing tomorrow? I can't remember when I'm doing it, but coming out soon where I am, I just make a quick arrangement from things that a few flowers in the backyard, and then I kind of forage a few, like I use a lot of hosta leaves right now in bouquets. And then I actually go, like, right behind my house is the railroad tracks, and it's like a big kind of just wide open wild flowers and whatever. So I went back there and I picked a lot of wild flowers instead of weeds. We're calling them wildflowers as filler. So there were some grasses and I think like a wild mallow that was growing and a few other things. I did not cut any of the milkweed, but it was very pretty back there. I should take a video back there. Like, there's constantly stuff growing. That's where I got all of my Dame's Rocket. Oh, Dame's, is that what it's called? Dame's Rocket? Dame's. It's like the wild phlox. It was growing and blooming like crazy down there. And right now they have this thistle with this purple pokey, really pretty top on it. But these thistles are like thick and oh my God, they're scary looking. I'm like, yeah, we're not going to grab any of that. But I got some grasses and I got a few things. So that video is coming up because I needed something to try and go with my calendula. Because I have calendula and some of it's really pretty, nice soft kind of creamy pinky color. And then I have like this obnoxious orange plant that keeps producing and it's bloomed more than anything else. And it's the biggest flower and it's just, it's rather garish. It's like kind of that marigold yellow, and I'm not a huge fan of that shade of kind of orangey, goldy color in the garden. It just doesn't really go with anything else. So that bouquet, I did find like one yellow snapdragon, and then I had like a kind of an orangey pink snapdragon, and I stuck it in with some white, and then I went and foraged for a bunch of grasses and greenery to stick in it so it looks good. Oh, and it's in my brand new pot vase. So I finally made it to a secondhand store. Yay! And I bought this. It's kind of like a long, sorry, my hands are like ghosting. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's better. So it's about this wide. It's kind of like a narrow, long, oblong, really thick glass vase. It's about 8 inches tall, like this, and wide, and you'll see in the picture. And it was $7, and it's really nice thick glass. So I'm really excited. That'll be fun. And change it. Your calendula is growing together. Forgive me. It's right next to my forgive-me-nots, but my forgive-me-nots are not blooming yet. So maybe I'll change my mind when they're blooming, because right now it's blooming next to my bright pink straw flowers and it's not great. Hey Joe, thanks for stopping by. How are you doing? How's everything going? You getting ready for the big giveaway, July 4th giveaway? Oh, you got them. Yay. I was hoping you'd get them. I hope you can use them. I'm kind of short on seeds right now. I've done so many seed swaps, and then I used so many seeds that I didn't really have a lot of extra. So hopefully people will be happy to get those. I still haven't got my tomato seeds yet, but I will have to check, have my husband go to the mail. I think I had sent yours sooner though. Oh, I'm so excited to see what it is. I gotta like set my bell notifications, like, and set a reminder on my Google calendar as well, because for some reason I never get the notifications until I'm like, it's too late, and you're just like, it just quit filming. So yeah, So yeah, I don't know if you don't follow Joe at Garden State Gardener, you got to get on over there. He does Sunday night lives and he gives away seeds, and it's very exciting. And I still have not won yet, but well, someday I'll win. It's still exciting to watch it go around. And then he also highlights different channels, different YouTube channels. Gives them like a little promo, shows a little video, talks a little bit about them, and gives them some nice exposure. So it's a nice evening, and the chat is really, really busy. Lots of people over there. You'll probably recognize a lot of different YouTubers, and it's kind of like it's just kind of a fun place to go hang out and chat with everyone, and then cross your fingers and hope you win something. So yeah, so go check out Garden State Gardeners lives every Sunday night. I know some people win 3 or 4 times. I think we got to talk about that. I think, you know, you're gonna have to cut them off. They can only win once. Only once a night. If you win again, respin the wheel. Unless it's me. If I win more than once, then that's all right. That's all right. Yeah. So who? Oh yeah. Oh, I think Danny's gone now, but she won some seeds last week. And yeah, I see some people, it's like they seem to win quite often. So I don't know what's going on with that. So you got any more jelly beans for Sunday? Anything new? No? Good night, Kitchen Garden Therapy. Yeah, I think I'm going to be wrapping up soon. I got to make sure the kid gets to bed and I get to bed. Got work tomorrow. This whole working thing, it's really messing up my free time to watch gardening videos. Yeah. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we will try and figure out how to do the stream. Oh, actually, Joe's the guy to ask. Joe, if I do the live stream and I use StreamYard, I know Gail does it where people can like, oh, Joe, is he going to get out of the pool this time? Hopefully it'll be cold and rainy and then he won't be able to go swimming. If I do the StreamYard, I can like just post a link and then other people can join the stream live. Do they have to have StreamYard downloaded as well, or just the person hosting it? I haven't really used it yet, so I'm wondering. Yes, no. So everyone that uses it has to have downloaded the app. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch a few. Oh, just the person hosting. Okay. So yeah, I was gonna message Gail about that, and then maybe just watch it, see if I can find a few YouTube videos on how to do the stream. So I would like to, yeah, it'd be nice to be able to have a few guests from time to time, especially people that are nervous about going live for the first time if they haven't done it before and don't want to be up there alone. So okay, perfect. But I think it's 10 to 9 here, so 8:48. I think I'm going to be calling it a night. I am tired, and it's been a long week, and I got to make sure the kid gets to bed soon, nice and early, and get to work tomorrow. So I would like to thank everyone for stopping by, and to remember that my lives, I'm just doing like every other Thursday night for now. Videos post on Saturday morning, and I might have a random one like on Friday mornings as well. I mean, Sunday mornings is my like regular video goes out Sunday morning, and lives every other Thursday. And if you want to pop in for a few minutes on the live on July 8th, then send me a message. I will post a video. I'll probably post a quick little video explaining what's going to happen, and comment on that video or send me a message saying, hey, I want to pop in. And then I can make sure that we figure out how to get you to pop in. And if you have any questions that you want to be asked, like an interview, or if you have something you want to share, and I think you can share pictures too, if you wanted to show like a little garden tour or something like that, that would work. So I will see you Sunday, Joe, and thank you, everybody. Good night. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. July 8th to join in. Sounds good. That would be nice to see you, Bonnie. And actually, Bonnie, we should get together in person sometime. We're not that far away. I think we're like, what, an hour? We should do a meetup. That would be fun. We could meet up somewhere and drag everyone along. Force everyone to watch our meetup. Good night, Farm and HVAC. Thanks for joining in. Thanks, everybody. Good night.